This is really a pitched battle right now. You have on the side we're at, we have Palestinians. They're throwing rocks. You can see some of them have slingshots here, putting rocks in them and then tossing it at the Israelis. About, I would say, a few hundred yards in that direction, you have Israeli troops there. We've heard tear gas being fired. We've seen rubber bullets being fired. We've seen a number of people who have been injured. Ambulances, you can see over here, there's a number of ambulances that have staged that are getting ready to ferry anyone who's injured to a hospital. I want to show you something else, Chris. Down here, you can probably see a lot of skins of onions. They're all over the place, pieces of onions, and that's for the tear gas. That helps counteract the effects of tear gas. That's something you see at protests like this. And this one in particular is a protest site that happens from time to time, but we haven't seen this number of people here. And when you speak to people, there's a lot of anger, palpable anger, directed towards the United States, directed towards Israel. And these are the warnings that we heard from leaders, is that we got to move back a bit. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Ian, move back. When they start shooting those canisters, they'll overwhelm you really quickly if they hit the ground near you. So safety first. Keep moving back. Make sure your cameraman's getting back to your photographer.
I think we're okay at this point now. You get these kind of situations where you get a couple people start running and you got that herd where everyone starts running. That does create that dangerous situation. This is a situation that a lot of leaders in the region warned about, that you could stoke violence and stoke tensions like this, and this is really what we're seeing play out here in Ramallah.
Yeah, we've heard that. I mean, look, this is what yesterday we reported on, that there were some Palestinian leaders, some was just grassroots movement that called for 3 days of rage in reaction to what President Trump had said. Do you get a sense, Ian, and maybe you can't because you're there and so consumed, but is it just Ramallah, or is it stretching, that the 3 days of rage, is it stretching across the region?
What we know in the West Bank is that Bethlehem has also had protests, it has had clashes, and this is a Thursday. Fridays are usually the main days of protest here, and so if we're seeing this many people come out on a Thursday, you could expect to see something similar on Friday. Now, today, Palestinians did call for a strike. Businesses are closed, schools are closed, and you're seeing a lot of people go out in the street and voice their anger. Over here, I want to just show you this. This is kind of what you're seeing, the tires that they're burning, and that's what's creating this thick black smoke that you see in the distance here. Also, an ambulance over here. It looks like someone was injured. They're rushing someone there. But this is really the scene. This is the reality here in this part of Ramallah, where we're going to move back some more now.
Yeah, hey, Ian.
All right.
Listen, get to safety, bud. We get the sense of what's happening on the ground. You let us know if the situation changes, but stay safe, all right? We hear them firing the tear gas. Get out of there.
Tear gas is coming in.
Get out of there.
Right. Yep, we're out. Yeah, the army.
Yeah, just keep running, Ian. Don't worry about broadcasting. The problem is when this tear gas hits, if that's what it is, there are lots of different components that they can use to disperse crowds over there. It hits you so fast, and you can't move anymore.
Oh,
it literally freezes you in place. I don't care how many onions you have. And there's a mixed bag with those tires also. They create almost instant thick black smoke.
Yeah.
It's a distraction, but it also removes the field of vision from the military on the other side. And very often it becomes a reason for return of force.
You can see people there struggling afterwards. Let's check in with Ian. How's Ian? Can you hear us? Okay.
Right.
Ian, how are you?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you.
What's happening?
Hey, I'm all right. We're okay. They just released a volley of tear gas towards the protesters, usually from one of their trucks. Oh, watch out, we got an ambulance coming through. We're able to push back the crowd, but you get these volleys of tear gas, usually from a truck, fires a number of canisters. We got to move off this side again. Ambulance coming through.
Is he watching?
Hey, Ian, do you have any sense on the ground there of what degree of resistance is forming there on the street? Are you seeing weapons, or are you seeing just the typical slingshots of things being thrown and lighting things on fire? Have you seen any other weaponry?
We haven't seen any weapons.
Good.
The only thing we've seen are rocks, slingshots, burning tires, but nothing of nothing to escalate in terms of weapons, of guns or anything. We haven't seen any of that. This is just a kind of a typical protest that you see, where you do have these Palestinians coming out with the rocks and their slingshots and squaring off with the Israeli military.